What is up, YouTube? I'm really sorry that I haven't posted in about 2 weeks. I took a vacation to Tennessee with my girlfriend and her family, and I just needed that time off, with work and trying to keep up with YouTube and just a bunch of other things. It just felt good to kind of just relax, focus on, my training, my eating, and just, take that time off. But this was a video that I already recorded probably about 2 weeks ago, and this is it. So it is chest and back, one of my favorite combinations to do. The pump, when done efficiently, is honestly just one of the best that you can have, because at that point your triceps, your biceps, your shoulders, everything is pumped up at that point, and so you just feel like this massive person. So we start off with the tricep press machine, and the reason why I want to do that is because at Planet Fitness, I've been using dumbbells a lot, so I didn't want to do that. I wanted to try something different, and for me, warming up my body is already just crucial. So I didn't even record when I started off with the pec deck, or even with pullovers. I didn't show that, I warm up with those all the time, just so that when I'm going to the exercises, I feel like my body's already ready to go with slightly heavier movements. But I also wanted to go in and get my chest super pumped up. So with this, I feel like I get an amazing stretch and a great squeeze in my chest, and you guys can kind of see through my hoodie that you guys can kind of see my chest does protrude out of it a slight bit. So when doing that, I lean forward a slight bit, and I'm making sure that when I'm going backwards, that I'm focusing on that stretch all across my chest. And as I'm pushing down, you guys can't really see, but I am squeezing my upper, middle, and lower chest. But I do that all not at the same time. As the machine goes down, that's, how I follow the contraction. And then right after that, I went to the underhand pull-down machine. And here again, back thickness is still very crucial. We're still trying to make sure that when we're on stage, that we can go ahead and present that the best way we can. That is my biggest weak point to me, honestly. Out of all things, I just feel like that's my biggest weak point. So as that weight goes up, you're trying to, guide the stretch all the way through those lats to the middle back. And then when you're pulling it down, you don't want to be launching that weight down. But at the end of the movement, you guys can't really see, but I do kind of a pause to make sure I'm squeezing as low as I can. We're trying to squeeze on those lower lats to the middle part of our back. And so at the very end of both exercises, I did, a failure set, which I always do for all my exercises. You guys already know this. And this one was just, let me make it as heavy as I can. But if you guys notice, I don't really move when I'm doing these. My body doesn't move. I stay in a fixed position, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm not just launching weight again. And so for this one, I did a very, very heavy set of 6. And then at the end, I'll give myself a number and I aim for that. But mainly, we're always going to failure. And a lot of people always ask, why is it that you don't just go and complete reps? Or why don't, and there's a big reason for that. Because in those failure reps, that's where you truthfully grow or develop. Because if I'm doing something that I'm able to do, if I'm able to do 15, then, it's not that you won't get a good pump or anything like that. That's not the case. It's just when you choose a weight and you go to failure, that means that you fatigued your muscle utterly. You've done everything you can for that exercise, for that muscle, and that's it. It's kind of like, why would I go and put myself to do something that I know I can do? That there's no pain, no gain. You feel me? So that's the main purpose. And, when you guys see me do a lot of failure sets, Dorian Yates did that a lot, where he would do a lot of sets where it was to failure. Tom Platz did that. And, I feel like that only really genuinely just benefits the muscle. Right after that, I wanted to go into kind of 2 heavy movements. So I did the Smith machine barbell rows, and then the incline machine press. These 2 were very close to each other. I wanted to go pretty heavy with these, so that's kind of the reason why you guys will see me kind of fatigue kind of quickly with these. But with the T-bar rows, I like it because at this Planet Fitness in particular, the Smith machine, instead of being kind of slanted to the side, it's actually straight up and down. And so with that, I really was, to a degree, you guys will see I kind of moved the weight a little funky, I guess you can say. So when I lift up the weight, you guys will see. So you see how I'm contracting my back, and you guys can't really see, but I'm trying to use my elbows to contract my lower back as much as possible, but also my upper back. So it's like you're fully contracting everything. There's a purpose in doing that. So on the way down, your full back is taking on that stretch, okay? And when you guys are contracting backwards, it is very difficult to contract those lower lats if you're just trying to contract them full. You do like a motion where it's like, okay, I'm going to contract the upper, middle, lower. And in doing that, that helps you to contract everything, and it makes the motion that much easier. That's why it's like, usually I kind of do barbell rows kind of slower, but today or that day I said no, I want to go as heavy as I can. So that was my thought process in going through that. I know it sounds a little complicated, but it's just because when we're bodybuilding, we're trying to focus on specific muscles. We're trying to target, arrange our bodies, or position us in a position to where wherever we're trying to develop, that is what we're trying, that's what we're feeling. So it's like people will go and do a leg exercise and not understand why they would put their feet in this position or in that position, or feel what they need to feel down there, or even with chest, a lot of people say like, how did you, get your chest to grow just a slight bit? And honestly, it took a while for me to just kind of put myself in a mindset to understand that I can't just go into an exercise and do a bunch of chest exercises because I saw Ronnie Coleman do them. I have to see understand the purpose in doing them, and then understand how my body works with doing that also. That's very, very important, is understanding your own body, okay? Right after that, we did some cable rows. I haven't done these as much as I'm supposed to. And it's funny because I finally actually feel like I've gotten a better mind muscle connection doing these. I prefer doing T-bar rows, but actually the cable rows have been actually life to me lately, and they've just felt like, full mind muscle connection. Right after that, because I kind of wanted to focus on just more a little bit lower chest today, so it was all just decline dumbbell press. And in here again, like I've mentioned before, and other bodybuilders mentioned, is that when you're doing any decline movement, you're actually working on that upper part too, your upper chest as well. So a lot of people try to go and, like I've always said, like you always just try to aim for just the lower part. No, my coach always told me, no, you're always aiming for the full chest. And I never understood what that meant. But when you guys go into any chest movement, before actually picking up the weight or doing anything like that, I always tell my clients, so I encourage you guys to do, imitate the movement without weight. See, how you should squeeze your chest, how you feel, and see how much of your chest you can really feel. Because when you're in that position and you go upward for the squeezing motion, if you guys try to, you guys will be able to squeeze the full chest. You'll say, wait, I feel my upper chest and my lower chest. I feel everything, So next time that you guys go into the gym, I do encourage that when you guys do any kind of chest movement, and especially for those who feel like they don't get a really good mind muscle connection, I encourage that you guys try that. It honestly did help me a lot, and it still to this day helps me a lot to prepare myself for like heavier weight, because we don't want to just pick up heavy weight and we don't contract or feel or activate our chest the way that we're supposed to. I don't want to just pick up weight just for the sake of it. No, there's always a purpose, okay? So right after that, I wanted to, if you guys look, it's an easy bar, but I did underhand pull downs. If you guys look, I am not launching myself backwards. I'm not too far back. And the purpose of that is just so that you can go ahead and feel those lats, and that, we're also not using momentum, okay? So in this position, I'm able to stretch out my lats, and as I bring it down, I'm trying to aim for right under my chest or right under my nipples. And in doing that, I'm able to squeeze my entire back. I know before, for me, it was very difficult for me to aim for those lower lats. And what helped me was to contract the whole back. So I'm squeezing my whole back, but at the very end of that motion, I aim for those lower lats. On the stretching part, I'm stretching out those lats, but at the end, at the squeezing motion, I'm squeezing those lower lats. And then right after that, I just wanted to, cable flies. I always like to either start or end with these, but cable flies are always essential for me when I am in my doing my chest. And here, I'm very much into trying to stretch my chest because my chest was very, very pumped up. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this exercise. I didn't do a whole lot, but that's it for this exercise. You guys let me know what you guys think of this, what you guys want to see more of, what you guys want to see less of. And I will be having a new video for you guys next week. I will see you guys until then. Until then, you guys be safe.